When I first came here, when I was hired, sort of a mandate from the superintendent was that things had to change at Frankford. I didn't want to know where the students lived. I didn't know who their parents were. I didn't want to know what their IQ was. I just want to know, why couldn't you, the teacher, make this child have this growth? I think in the beginning, I'm not sure teachers had the belief in themselves that they could make it happen for all kids.
When I first came, you have an expectation yourself of what you're going to find in your classroom.
They believed all kids could learn, but all kids could only learn a certain amount.
Today we're going to combine what we've learned.
I think about when I first started teaching over 20 years ago, it could be a lonely profession. You get in your classroom and you're there by yourself.
I recruited a teacher from my former school who was excellent at teaming.
And she couldn't convince people that teaming really worked or that it wasn't a lot of extra work. But it's not anything more than you would do if you had your own classroom and spent time just by yourself.
It's a hard thing when we started this professional learning community where, you know, you don't want to be that person that sits there and says, all right, my kids are struggling.
There's nothing we wouldn't do to create a successful environment for them.
You have to just say, what's best for the kids?
Get everybody's head together and come up with a lot of good ideas, a lot of good strategies.
And they take ownership. They don't come to me and say, well, I've got this student and, you know, here, you take them and you figure out what to do with them. They come and they say, I have a problem, what can I do to help them? And they'll try it in the classroom. If it's just not working, you're not admitting defeat, but you're just trying to find what's best for the student in your classroom.
Data is a big driving factor behind the culture change. The data is not lying about what's happening, that these children are being successful.
And when they saw they were being successful, they wanted the change. They wanted to do the things that we've been talking about.
When we had students that are in our intensive learning center, the lowest functioning students passed the state test. I think that was a big turning point.
If you have your teachers who believe in what you're doing and believe in what's going on in the school and they see the success and the growth, I think that's probably the most important piece.
With the appropriate strategies, with that belief system, then we can do it.
I think we found the formula. And the formula is not one teacher here, not one teacher there. It's the package.
We had a visit from the U.S. Deputy Secretary, Ms. Ray Simon. The reporter asked him, with No Child Left Behind, and what would you say to these schools that are not meeting that standard for 2014? And his response was, tell them to come to Frankfurt because it's 2014 today.